one committee makes it more difficult for the next committee.
Correct.
That's why this committee has to continue.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And welcome
Congratulations.
everyone. It was very enriching and
Make it more
exciting.
difficult for the next committee.
Congratulations, Safdar. Safdar,
That's why-
congratulations for achieving CSP.
Thank you,
Mashallah.
sir. Thank you.
Good,
I
good.
think Ramana, we are on time. Let us start.
Yes, yes, Sadaji.
Okay, let's see. On behalf of SSP Kuwait Chapter President, Mr. Jahid Thakur, who cannot be able to make it today, I'm Secretary Safdar Ali Khan. Welcome you to this Process Safety Specialty Group, which is having activity to improve general awareness and a platform for networking on a process safety related awareness, event sharing, and lesson learned. Today, we have a full program from 7 o'clock till 8:30, and the breakdowns of program is like that. A welcome address and introduction and background with our mentor, PCM mentor, Mr. Ujwal Ritvik, process community moderator. There will be a presentation, one which will be case study on explosion at Styrene plant with alkylation reactor feed furnace by Ramachandra Murthy Jakkula, who is working as a safety officer in Gulf Speak. There will be a question and answer session based on the presentation. So our moderator, Mr. Ujwal Ritvik, will be taking that session itself to handle it. And there will be a self-introduction to the new member who are coming first time to the forum. But because of the time constraint, be very brief on this, and I will request all these attendees and the speaker to maintain the time. And then second presentation will be experience sharing, which is a process safety incidents speaks by Mr. Sridhar Ketavarapu, safety engineer, Kuwait Oil Company. And then it will be expectation from the process safety management forum, what is plus side and delta side by our moderator, Ujwal Ritvik sir. And then it will be announcement and concluding a remark by our Vice President, Mr. Majruddin Sheikh. So this was the agenda for today. Usually, you are aware that we are doing professional development conference. This professional development conference is one of these mega event of ASSP-KC. And in that line of, we are planning, and we have already started kickoff meeting and arranging the logistic and promotion of this. So inshallah, with all your continued support and active participation, we are hoping PDC 2022 will held somewhere in March. Hope things will be improving by time. So we will be going either hybrid or in-person conference. So this was the introduction, and now I will leave the floor to our moderator, Mr. Ujwal Ritvik sir.
I think
Before that, if
yeah,
yeah, thank you, Ramana, for
Yeah, okay, dear. Okay.
this slide. I would like to welcome all of you for joining us today, and also thanks for Mr. Sridhar and our Mr. Murthy, both worked with me. Sridhar, in fact, he joined with me Kuwait Oil Company together, and we are very close friends. In fact, apart from we are the colleagues for 3 years in same directorates. So I'm really very happy to see him today with us and helping us to enhance our mental horizon through his experience sharing. And before that, as Mr. Safdar said, I would like to request all our members who are here. We are again going to have this PDC in March 2022, inshallah, and we have started some initial preparations for that. So, as usual, we need support from all of you because all the successes we had in last 10 PDCs, all because of the teamwork by ASSP Kuwait chapter members. So for the next upcoming PDC also, we request all of you that please support this come in team and support the chapter to make this conference very successful for the betterment and enhancement of the people working in Kuwait. So thank you so much, and I would like to request Ujjwal Ritik sir to walk us through today's event also as usual. And thank you so much everyone once again for joining. I will take this thanking part in the end of this. So Ujjwal sir, to you.
Yeah, sure. Good
Thank you,
evening,
Mazhar.
everyone. Thank you, Mazhar and Safdar. Good evening, everyone. All of you. Welcome
evening,
to
sir.
this meeting. It's so nice to see that 12th time, right on dot, we are meeting, and thanks goes to Ramana and of course the committee, which is so much active, so much committed. Let's start the event. And as just now have been told, and many of you have been seeing this, our purpose of this monthly meeting is just to kind of give a routine to ourselves, to all the people who are interested in process safety, to get into a routine of looking into what's happening around, what has happened in the past, also learning from each other's experience, coming to know that yes, there are people around us who are just like us, who are just like me, just like you, just like us. We make mistakes. We make mistakes, and we follow a management system that takes out this mistake, investigates it. I mean, first thing is that mistake. I think it is wrong to say that we have mistakes. What we should say is that we did something at that point of time, we thought that it is something good. But later on, after investigation, people found out that no, possibly that was not the best thing to do. Something else could have been done, either by me or by the system, by the management, by the organization. So this we come to know by only after proper investigation, when the facts are collected, a proper root cause analysis is done, root causes are identified, and we come to know that what are the facts, what are the findings, and then finally the recommendations are made. And somewhere in between, we have experience. And this forum or these meetings we use for getting those sharing of experience that, look, I did something like this, possibly when you come into across something similar, you also do not commit the same mistake or same act. So this is how we learn from each other. Of course, this is something very, let's say, maybe 5 to 15% of the way we learn. As professionals, we have to learn from books, from magazines, from professional magazines, from articles. By doing things ourselves, we learn in fact, that's one of the best learning. We do things ourselves and we learn. So there are so many ways of learning, but this 5 to 15% of learning by experience of others is very important component, one of the elements of learning. And during these meetings, we come to know each other as well. You know, new and old members, possibly they are joining again and again. So we know each other. But some people who are joining for the first time, we come to know about them, about, you know, what is their name, from what is their background, etc. And this way, we create a community of networks, because networking is also important in experience sharing. Another thing that we realize is that many of us, many of you who are attending these meetings, we are not hardcore process safety professionals. We are HSC professionals. We may be more in safety, we may be more in environment or industrial hygiene, and process safety is possibly yet another good, you know, area to know about. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. We don't want you, everyone, all the 100 or 150 people who join these meetings regularly, to be PSM professionals, so to say. It's not necessary. It is important that you keep joining, keep showing up, and keep listening to each other. That's very important. As long as, even if you are not an HSE person, let's say that you are a drilling expert and you want to attend this, it's very good, because this is nothing but an extension of what you're doing. Safety has to be part of our lives, whatever we are doing. Now, coming back, let me see, the format. If you are joining first time, we normally have two presentations, and both should be about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. There has to be some questions, so be ready for questions. And also, we have some quiz. I believe Ramana has prepared some quiz, and the idea is that, you know, the chapter is giving you an attendance certificate, which you can utilize in maintaining your professional development points. You know, if you are having some certification credential, normally you would require to have some professional development credits. So this certificate will help you, but for that you have to participate in the quiz. So I was talking about two presentations. One is about some old incident, some infamous incident. We just want to remind ourselves, because we tend to forget things. So even if we have learned about, let's say, Piper Alpha 50 times in the past, 51st time will not harm us. Rather, it will remind us that, okay, permit to work is very important, handing over properly is very important, etc. So that is why we want to listen about the past incident. And the second presentation is about some personal experience. Means, as I was telling, I did something and it failed. I want to share with you, because not everything in life has to succeed the first time. We have to fail in order to learn, and that is what we want to share. So this next presentation would be about that. It could be personal failure, it could be a failure next to me, I have seen it personally, etc. And of course, we ask questions, raise questions, and try to answer to each other. We don't consider that anyone is super expert. Anyone can bring a good answer. So just to feel free to participate in discussions happening here or even outside this meeting. That's the purpose of this forum. that this meeting 1 hour, 1.5 hours is not the limit. You can always discuss it, after this meeting. Email, WhatsApp, there is a WhatsApp group, Kate, PSM. So discuss over there, or just pick up telephone. So don't worry about, who has the best answer. We are just talking about as to can someone answer, because there could be so many opinions. There are so many aspects of facts. So coming back, I think without losing further time, today we have two presenters. Just now we have been informed two presenters. First one is Mr. Ramachandra Jakkula Murthy, and he works for Gulf ASSP as safety officer. And he has an incident, an explosion in styrene plant. So we go to him, and then we will talk about some introductions. So Ramachandran, this is your time now. You can take over the presentation.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, sirs. Ujjwal sir.
Good evening, sir.
Today's
good
my
evening.
small presentation is not like a Piper Alpha or like that, but it is a small incident that happened in styrene plant. That is explosion that occurred at a styrene plant in the alkylation reactor feed heating furnace heater. So it is like I'll conclude with the investigations and small recommendations also. Quickly going to the contents. Actually, since it is a styrene plant, we will know about styrene monomer, just its uses, and in the process of the plant in brief, accident description, accident investigation analysis, concept, and accident investigation analysis using FTA is one of the methods I have just chosen to just outline for accident investigation analysis, and the results of analysis and conclusions and the recommendations to be followed. Okay, going to the next slide. Process in brief. It is a petrochemical industry. I will go back to the first slide. In the light of growing frequency of industrial accidents, this is one of the relevant case studies in the critical importance of process safety management. Actually, on 6th March 2017, a petrochemical industry in Taiwan, is styrene plant, styrene monomer plant, alkylation reactor feed heating furnace exploded, injuring 4 operators. The furnace flash explosion occurred when the fuel oil was exchanged with fuel gas. That is, they are switched. Hope this case study can assist in dealing with the accident investigation also. An example of PSM, it is an example of PSM to provide analysis information to substantially lessen the risks as well as the severities to the petrochemical industries. Going back to the third slide. Fourth slide, sir. Sorry. Process in brief. Is everybody with me? Yeah. In general, the styrene monomer manufacturing method is based on alkylation of benzene and ethylene. You can see this figure where bottom in the right side, you can see that there is a reaction between ethylene and benzene. Ethylene on the left side extreme and right side extreme, right top extreme, there is benzene, they both react in the alkylation reactor to give ethyl benzene. So according to the process flow chart, before the raw materials ethylene and benzene enter the alkylation reactor, only benzene must be heated to reach the operating temperature of 700 to 800 degrees or even higher in the feed heating furnace, and then fed to the reactor where ethyl benzene is formed. That is, ethylene from the left extreme and is going to the alkylation reactor, wherein also the benzene is coming to the feed heating furnace. And before coming to the feed heating furnace, it is heated. The heated benzene only can react with, can undergo alkylation with ethylene. So at around 700 to 800 degrees centigrade. So it is heated in the feed heating furnace, and then it is fed to the alkylation reactor where ethylene reacts, and it gives ethyl benzene. Whereas the crude ethyl benzene is distilled and recovered. The unreacted benzene will be sent back to the benzene raw material reactor. Okay, and the benzene is and ethyl benzene is recovered. So here you can see in the left side there is one figure where you can see the EB process, ethyl benzene process area. That is entire where the incident occurred is the ethyl benzene process area. So just to show you the location, plant outlet, plant layout. So yes, it is an ethyl benzene process area. Okay, where the flash, you can see the flash explosion occurred in the feed heating furnace. You can see that red marked over there in the top. Next slide. So we can see that feed heating furnace. I can just brief out about that. The fluid benzene, that is fluid is benzene here, which flows in the. You can see the figure. Furnace tube inlet is where the benzene flows. That fluid flows with this in the inlet. You can see the furnace tube inlet. There, where the benzene flows inside the tubes of furnace, and outside the tubes you have the heat generated by the combustion of fuel and air, so that the fluid is heated to the specific temperature. It is a generally heat exchanger. Also, fluid goes into the fluid through the tubes, and the combustion, the air and fuel combustion takes place outside the tubes, that is in the chamber. So we can see after the fuel is ignited by the burner. You can see the burner here where the fuel is ignited. Here the fuel is oil initially, then they switch to gas. After the fuel is ignited by the burner, a flame is generated, and the combustion air flowing into the furnace is heated to exceptionally high temperature. See, in the burner, if you see the burner, actually that is fuel is not shown here. You can imagine fuel coming to the burner and flame is burning. Okay, the burner is burning. So you can see the flame there. So the fuel is ignited by the burner and the flame is generated, and the combustion of air flowing into the furnace is heated to exceptionally high temperature. You can see the air inside. How air enters is, if you open the chimney baffle, chimney is there. Chimney baffle is adjusted for a ventilation also. So that acts as a suction. You can see the left side chimney causing suction force, the air from the bottom into the furnace. So the chimney acts as a suction force for the air to enter, where to form the fuel, heat and air mixture. So air enters to the bottom when the chimney opens, and the air flushes into it. And since we have already fuel in the burner, tubes in the burner, and the flame is ignited, so it burns here, and the combustion occurs in the chamber. So I think you all got it. Chimney provides suction force for the air from bottom into the furnace for combustion. The fluid in the tubes is heated by convection, taking the radiant heat of the air absorbed by the tubes. Here the air is heated up through radiation, and the tubes take up this radiant heat, and by the method of convection, the tube is heated, and tube, after getting heated by convection, the inlet inside the fuel the benzene fluid inside the tubes gets heated up. Next slide. Also, I can 1 minute go back, sir. Also, I can show you the baffle. You can see the chimney baffle here, because we are going to discuss about it afterwards. The chimney baffle here, that is, and you can see blasting door is there, which is also, of course, you have to see here, and you have convection zone on the top and the radiation zone on the the bottom of the furnace, Okay, you can get go to the next slide. Yeah. So it is now accident description. On 6th March 2017, at 3 a.m., between 3 a.m. and 3:30 a.m., an operator switched over to the fuel gas from fuel oil. Earlier, they used to use fuel oil instead of fuel gas. So he switched over to fuel gas in the alkylation feed heating furnace. The furnace, what I've shown you just now, that burner, at the burner point, now the fuel, they have changed from fuel oil to fuel gas. Because of they have some specifications, or they want to have a good heating process. Then at 4:28 a.m. and 4:28, between 4:28 and within 25 seconds, finding the poor combustion occurring, the operator began to adjust the fuel flow accordingly, because now he has taken the fuel gas and he has set everything as per the requirements, and then now finding poor combustion occurring, the operator began to adjust the fuel flow accordingly, because he had to adjust the flame. During the adjustment, flame got extinguished and black smoke was released. During adjustment, it happened that the flame got extinguished. Okay. Seeing the smoke, operator manually went and manually opened the baffle. I have shown you in the previous slide the chimney baffle on the top. No, in the chimney there is one baffle, chimney baffle. So he went there manually. He went there and manually opened the chimney baffle totally for ventilation. See, you want to make the smoke to escape from the chimney. So for that reason, he went to the baffle and he went to the chimney and opened the baffle fully and to send the smoke outside. So operator manually opened the chimney and ventilation of the smoke without cutting off the fuel. What he did is, without cutting off the fuel, that gas which was kept on was not cut off. Without cutting off, he went to the chimney and opened the baffle. So actually, this chimney acts as an this acts as a suction force for air to enter from the bottom. If it is open, the air will be sucked from the bottom. So ventilation is done by the suction of air from the bottom of the furnace. So at 4:30 to 4:31, 4:49 a.m., a flash explosion occurred in the heating furnace due to the auto ignition, injuring 4 operators. So a flash explosion suddenly occurred. At 4:30 to 36 a.m., initiated emergency shutdown in EB process, means EB process area. And this is a heating furnace area, and then the shutdown was occurred. They have shut down the ethyl benzene process area. It also damaged the surrounding property, such as ethyl benzene process area, heating, and also heating furnace when destroyed, both of which had to be shut down and repaired. So next slide. Accident scene photos. You can see this shell of the furnace cracked. Heating furnace. It is tied. It is the numbering as F101. It has been cracked. Next one. Accident investigation. Some indirect possible reasons are there, which are as follows. After the heating furnace explosion, the operator did not shut down the F101, that is heating furnace, according to the standard operating procedure. Then the automation of fuel and gas continued in the furnace, resulting in flashover under the high temperature. See, I want to explain here. He did not shut down the heating furnace and automation of the fuel. The fuel was in a continuous operation, continuous running, and there was that already the furnace is under heat. During this, I will tell you one thing. From running condition, heat oil was initially heat oil was used in the running condition, and in the running condition itself, he switched over to fuel gas. So during this process, heating, while he was using heat oil, already the furnace surface temperature was very high. Now he switched out to fuel gas. So the fuel gas is coming from the burner which was extinguished, or the flame was which was extinguished, and the we have three elements now. That is, we have the gas coming from the burner nozzle, and the heat surface is there, and the air is also rushing up because the chimney is open. So we have three elements now in the come into the furnace. So I'll just read it, and it is enough to cause fire because the concentrations is quite enough. In the fuel adjusting period, the furnace produced black smoke. At this point, on the site staff discovered the flame extinguished and performed the adjustment. Then determined the fuel gasification, means fuel is coming, and the cause the ignition, resulting in other burners flame extinguishing instantly. On the on-site response time during the abnormal situation was too short. On-site staff response time during the abnormal situation was too short because the explosion, generally on-site we cannot control the situation because explosions. On-site response time was very short, too short. The blast door vent size was not meeting the requirements. Blast door, I've shown in the chimney structure that blast door vent size was also not enough to not meeting the requirements. The pressure will be built up, and the pressure should be vented. And the chimney, the nearest opening is blast door, which can we can release the pressure, but it was I think it was not enough. And suddenly the chimney, since the chimney was opened, it has taken that route, and also the pressure increased and it blasted. The staff lacked awareness of the safety of heating furnace operation. See, staff lacked awareness of the safety of the heating furnace operation and was unwilling to shut down the heating furnace. Nor did the staff perform the emergency stop procedure. So entire thing, they are lacking awareness of safety of operation and safety of emergency also. So both the things they are lacking. Another reason might be the staff was unfamiliar with the operating environment and equipment. Okay, next slide. Accident investigation analysis. See, we have taken just now analysis. We have many methods of analysis. Like here we have a picture of how the accident identification as that we can identify the cause of accident, and the assessment and control and decision making, like qualitative analysis. We have entire thing is a qualitative analysis system, and for risk analysis we have hazard identification. We have for hazard identification we can use Aloha and FTA. Aloha is a software for consequence modeling, and FTA root cause analysis means you can is a top-down approach. We can have that also. And quantitative risk analysis. Quantitative risk analysis, we can from hazard identification we can have quantifying the risks, and we have the control systems, engineering controls and management controls. We have decision making ALAP. Since we have to get the through controls, we can get to the ALAP, and we have PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, and act. We have the decision making. Next slide, sir. This is past, future furnace incidents around the world. Around the world, this furnace incidents. I'm telling about the furnace incidents. We have a list of furnace incidents that happened around the world. So we can just I can discuss in the next slide that about the causes. Just next slide. Quickly going to that. Accordingly, it is recognized that the accidents of heating furnace occur intermittently, and common accidents mainly include furnace explosion, poking in furnace, and explosion in the flue. Causes. The causes of accidents: high pressure within the system, human error, improper maintenance or faulty design, or equipment failure. Effects: the furnace tube is damaged, the material in the tube leaks into the furnace, burner of heating furnace is damaged, refractory insulating material in the furnace is impaired, fire and explosion. Next slide. We have used the concept of this hazard identification, risk analysis, risk control, decision making. So according to we generally know about it, and we can in hazard identification already discuss Aloha and FTA, and risk analysis, qualitative and quantitative analysis method to implement risk assessment, and risk controls. We have engineering and management plan to decision making and all. Next slide, sir. So accident investigation analysis, we have we can like PHA element process hazard analysis. We have FTA. It forms a PSM elements process hazard analysis. One of the method is FTA. What if, why, all these things, event tree. So fault tree analysis concept is that. So fault tree analysis was developed by Watson and A. Mains at Bell Telephone Laboratories in 1962 in the area of American telecommunication industry. First time it is in a area of American telecommunication industry and aircraft industry for their missile failures. It is FTA was applied in the missile failures by USA, and later in NASA, other electronic industries, software companies are also started using it for safety analysis. FTA is an effective tool widely used to, just briefing about FTA before we go into that. FTA is an effective tool widely used to find system reliability, maintainability, failure probability, failure rate and repair rate, and system analysis. So system reliability, maintainability and safety analysis, it is a effective tool FTA is used widely. And FTA is a top-down approach with undesirable event. You can see the figure on the top event. It is a top-down approach, means the first element on the top. What here explosion occurred in the heating furnace. That is a top-down event, top event. Okay, undesirable top event, that is explosion. Intermediate events, possible sources. You can top down coming to them. It is like fuel, switching of fuel, all other causes like intermediate causes are there. Maybe high pressure or low pressure of the fuel was not in the proper ratio. Maybe many other such intermediate causes are there, and basic causes will also be there. The intermediate causes are taken as intermediate events. The top event at the top is, even as you know, intermediate event is the as I told you, high pressure, high temperature, or process flow. All these things will come under intermediate events, and the basic events are the final events below which it cannot go further. Possible basic or root causes for the intermediate events or top event. So basic events are the causes for intermediate events, and intermediate events are the causes for the top event. So we can finally analyze for the top event. So all connected to the logical gates. So AND gate or OR gate. Fault. You can see this shapes of the AND gate or OR gate, and rectangular fault event, circle, basic event. Basic event are primary events, and the diamond is undeveloped event, a normal event. So rectangular event is the most undesirable event. That will be in a rectangular this thing. Okay, next slide. Okay, sorry. Furthermore, FTA applies deduction logic methods. Deduction is like you have YY. You use YY type methods, logic methods, to find the root cause through finally account to the system failure. And FTA is a top-down approach, graphically represented. You can see that's graphical represented like a tree. It is graphically represented using these events and the logical means logic gates connected in a connected. So top-down graphical represented to identify the possible causes and their combinations. FTA quantifies the probability of undesirable events and compares the variation. Quantifies the probabilities of undesirable events and points out the weaker links of the operating system. Wherever the weaker it will identify the weaker link, where exactly the which link is the main root cause of the undesirable event. and render or initiation which weaker link which will initiate the other events. Render system tools to evaluate system improvement strategies. Okay, next slide.
Yeah, Murthy, now, yeah, take another 5 minutes and you can close it.
Okay, sir. Then I'll quickly go to yeah. See next slide. You can see FTA. Okay, I'll go to the 17th slide. Go to the 17th slide, sir. Aramna.
No, number I don't able to see.
Okay, 14, that is okay. Keep that slide. That is very important.
Yes.
See, we have this fault tree establishment tree. This is taking the heating source that heat furnace explosion. We have three things here: heating source, air, and excessive combustible materials. So we can draw our fault tree in this way, in this manner. We can give the names like T is our top event, X1 is the X1, X2, X3 are the intermediate events, X4, X5. All these things are I just given the labels. So we will go to the 17th slide. I think go to the third slide. Next third slide. I will tell you. Yeah. Using basic fire triangle, fire triangle, we have flame, ignition source, oxygen, and fuel. Applying this same principle, we have developed heating elements. Heating elements with a furnace temperature X4, X1 is the heating source, and X4, X5, X6, and X7 are the heating sources. Furnace temperature, heat surface, heating furnace flame, electric spark. We have taken some causes like possible causes. So X2 is air, X3 is excessive combustibles. So under that, other causes are abnormal fuel flow, abnormal gas flow to the furnace. Next slide. Next slide. X10 is the human error, which is also possible cause. Did not operate emergency. And X11 mechanical failure due to oil. X12 is a mechanical failure due to gas. T is a heating furnace explosion. That is the event, undesired event. So we can see intermediate events, basic events, which are classified under this. So whatever failure, these are the failure events. What are the intermediate failure events and the basic failure events? So the causes, failure causes or events are one and the same. So we will form a establishment tree, and then we will form some equations. T is equal to X1 is the X1. You have seen X1 is the heating source. X2 is the air, and X3 is the excessive combustible. So we go to the top event, top undesirable event. We can multiply the probabilities X1, X2, and X3. And then X1, you can see the basic causes of the X1 are X4, X5, X6, and X7. And X2 is already air, so it is already air. And X8 and X9 are the other heating sources. So we can take, instead of X3, we have taken X8 plus X9. So then T2 can be further classified like this. X2 we have taken on the left, and X4, X5, X6, X7, and X10 we have taken. Now this is we are taking failures into consideration. We can take two ways. One is air, fuel, and fuel, air, and heating sources, or air, fuel, and human errors. We can get the top-down approach either this way or that way. So we have taken two equations, 2 and 3. We can just to remember. And if you multiply entire things one by one elements, you can get this big equation. Next slide. Each element multiplied to each other, it will equation 4 comes. Next slide. So we have minimum cut sets also. So this is another method. Minimum is a combination of basic events which could lead to the top events occurring. It cannot be simplified again and still ensure that occurrence of the top events. If the MCS is the failed state, the entire system is out of order. So here we can see X2 is air, heating source, and human error. X10 is the human error. X11 is in every set. You can say X2, X4 is a common in the first set. The key factors K1, K2, K3, K3. You can see X10 is the human factor, human error. X11 is in that X2 and X4 common. X11 is the mechanical oil failure, mechanical failure due to oil. Mechanical failure, X12 is the mechanical failure due to gas. So like that, in every set you have air. Here is air, heating source, and human error. So this is a combination of all these key factors. Now, from the above results, we could find the key factors of the top event are air, any heating source, and human error or mechanical failure. So, in general, MCS containing which has only one basic event. So, suppose MCS minimum cut set has one basic event, you likely to cause failure. Then it causes more failure. Only one basic event will lead to more cause system failure than MCS containing two basic events. So, if it is having the X2, X4, X10 are the basic events like. So, so basic events, if it has more basic events, it will the explosion will be less. But if you have one single basic event, the explosion system failure will be more. So, MCS containing two basic events was easier to make system malfunction than minimum cut, which contain only containing three basic events. Means one basic event system failure, two basic events malfunction, like that. So minimum basic events, less impact, less explosions, less accidents. So next slide. This is a minimum. Minimum path sets the success.
Mr. Murthy, yeah, you can conclude in 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
The
success rate could be okay. This is another MPS method. It is like if it has minimum pathway, furnace will not explode. So if you got a minimum pathway that will not explode, it can be explained now. Go to we have Aloha also, or we can see the minimum. It is Aloha is a consequence modeling to reduce the minimum to analyze the distance where the more impact of explosion can occur. So next slide. I think you got to see the result and analysis. Okay, results analysis. We have learned from this faulty that caused by high temperature. The explosion occurred due to high temperature sources, mixed flame gases, and human factors. So human factors are misoperation, misjudgment, unmoved action, lack of training, lack of skill, and all. So we'll quickly go to the recommendations. Last slide. The first units with FTA cost-effective analysis. This we have to through FTA cost-effective analysis and investigation of the incident. The following recommendations are written. Units with different specialization must cooperate. Different units people should cooperate with each other to investigate accidents and to improve the operating safety of the equipment. ISD, intrinsically safe design and mechanical integrity should be could be improved. To develop procedures of MOC, management of change. When the heating furnace was used different fuels. So when they use different fuels, MOC should be they should develop the MOC procedures to avoid increasing the risk of exchanging fuels. We must use single fuel instead of multiple fuel. We can go for single fuel. Operator's ability should be improved. Heating abnormals especially during abnormal situations, to improve operator training and equipment regular maintenance. Before heating furnace was opened, PSSR should be done for F01 before heating was opened. Okay. Communication of the case experience should be promoted to grassroots levels of every person. Introduction of innertization of system using nitrogen like inert gases into the furnace to reduce the concentration of the combustible gases. Okay. Thank you, sir. It was a little lengthy, sorry. Thank you very much, sir, for providing this opportunity.
At this point, we will be taking up questions. But before that, let me welcome Mr. Fadil Alali. He is our chairman, founding chairman, and he continues to be with us with still with the same commitment and zeal. So, sir, if you are still there, would you like to speak a few words of encouragement to us? Muhammad.
Sir, he's having audio issues, I think. I'm trying to.
Yeah, it seems his audio issue because we see in participant and audio is not connected. It seems like
maybe we can ask him again.
Yeah, I will try, sir. I'll try in between. later we'll call.
So let's say that, okay, just let me summarize what I understood from you, Ramachandran, is that there was this incident and the reactor, the furnace exploded. And then in this case, the investigation was done using FTA method as well as Aloha, and certain findings and some recommendations were there. So it is very good. In fact, furnace explosion is not very new, and the reference article also I'll put in the group, in the chat group. I'll post it after this event, and you will find that there has been, quite a few. This one we solve it. We resolve this issue by instrumentation, by improved instrumentation controls, and of course, human factors very important, as you have very clearly indicated. So at this point, we will take a few questions. Do we have any question? Let's see. Let me pick up randomly someone around, let's say one Mr. Vinay Karup. Vinay Karup, are you there? Can you unmute yourself and see if we have a question from you? Okay, another person. I mean, again, I'm just trying to kick some discussion. Mr. Rohan Pawar, are you around?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Go ahead. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Actually, I am new to this oil and gas concepts and all. I'm related to construction field, so I'm new to this. Till then, I can go through.
Very good. Is this first time you are joining these meetings, or you have...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm new to this ASSP and this
Where
oil and gas.
you are located?
I'm working in AFCONS right now, AFCONS infrastructure, and in Kuwait.
Kuwait. How long you have been there?
This is the third year, sir. 2.5 years.
Good. Welcome, Rohan. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
There is one
Sir,
gentleman. Yeah, go ahead, Rohan.
Ramkumar here, sir. I'm Ramkumar, working for oil and gas. Thank you. I have a question to Ramachandran. That's a nice presentation. Excellent in detail, actually, in length, in content, in technical analysis. I felt somewhere that we were very clear. Is it really? I believe that, perhaps I may be wrong, if you can correct me. I believe it's a human error based on the analysis what you did, because I could see clearly the elements involved for the fire. What is that? Fuel, air, and a combustion process, which was radiant heat was already there. And the person has opened. Actually, what happened here is backdraft. That is how the fuel is starving for the oxygen. When he removed, the air was multiplied and the combustion was there. That's why it's got explosion. I want to know, from your point of view, what was the preventive measures? Were there any more incidents as such? Was only this incident? What was how did you prevent? If you can highlight, if you know anything. Thank you very much. Excellent presentation.
But as far as I know, maybe there are some incidents like this, but I have chosen this topic there are some. I have put up this one slide showing that the past incidents, furnace incidents around the world. Maybe it has various other causes like overpressure, molten mechanical integrity of the tubes, like that. So here is a we can say there is not much of technicality or any other system failures here. Only, as you said, it's human failure because also management control is there, like trainings of the training for training related to technicality of SOPs, standard operating procedures, especially during abnormal situations. So that and abnormal emergency shutdown procedures are all they are not aware. Lack of awareness is there. Actually, it is a human failure with the management also. Also, management is involved in that. So,
Good. Thank you, Ramachandra. Now we need to move to the next presentation. But before that, as I was telling, that I believe Bo Mohammed is he is able to resolve his audio issue. Bo Mohammed, welcome to this event. If you can you please give us a word of encouragement?
No, sir. I'll tell you, sir, when he joins.
Okay, not an issue. So at this point, let us see who has joined this meeting for the first time. This is our 12th meeting, and there are some 56 participants at this point of time. So anyone who has, like Rohan, he told he has joined this first time. Shafiq Munawar, have you joined these meetings before? Can you unmute yourself and speak?
Please, I'm new today, to join today.
Okay, so can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Wisdom Manimbo. I'm a city officer.
Okay. You are. Can you please be louder a little?
Yeah, my name is Wisdom Manimbo. I'm a city officer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Working at Qatar.
So, Wisdom, you are speaking from Qatar. Mm.
Yes, sir.
And what you are doing there?
I'm working safety.
Safety. Okay.
Yeah, safety
so
officer.
how did you come to know about this PSM meetings organized by ASSP Kuwait?
Yeah, I come by the link from our group, our team.
Very good. So we hope you find this of use and encourage others from your group and team and known people. They also should join this and participate in such activities. Welcome, Wisdom. And is there anyone else? I was talking about. There is another person I see. Possibly I have missed the names before. Bright Boama. Bright Boama. Can you unmute yourself? Bright Boama, are you able to listen to us? Eddie Ndanti. Eddie Ndanti, can you unmute yourself? Yeah.
Good
Okay,
evening.
Eddie, you are here now. Can
I'm not a new person. I've been on.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for being with us all along.
Thank you.
Do you find this of some use?
Yeah, exactly. That's why every time I have opportunity, I join whenever there's any presentation.
Great. Good to have you.
Thank you.
And is there anyone else who has joined this for the first time?
Yeah, hi, sir.
Manoj.
Yes, good evening, all.
Good evening, Manoj. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Well, my full name is Manoj Malgunkar. I'm also working as a safety officer with Alkylation Group company and KOC itself at Milagish APA patent facility. So, ASP, in my, even though I can share very honestly one thing, in my daily routine, even though if I want to deliver something with my team, with my operation, definitely this, so many things I'm taken from this or PDFs, which is we are sharing by our WhatsApp forum. It's very useful to us to prepare ourselves and to stand in front of some concerned department. So, very thankful for us. I will say thanks to Mr. Ramachandran that is giving one of good this investigation thing for us.
Welcome, welcome, Manoj, and
thank you.
Hope you continue with us and in other activities of the chapter also. Okay, so now we will continue our, the topics, the meeting seminar topics, and next we would request our next presenter, Mr. Sridhar. He is working with KOC, and we are so happy that he would be presenting something that he experienced personally, almost, and I'm quite sure all of us will enjoy. So go ahead, Sridhar. You can take over the, the presentation. First, introduce yourself briefly, and then, we can, you can talk further.
Yeah, just give me a second. I think I just shut it down. It's a glitch. Just give me a second, sir. Yeah, so good evening. My name is Sridhar, and I hope are you able to listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Carry on.
Wonderful. So what I'm trying to give is an experience which I had when I was working as a consultant. So it's actually about two different incidents, but they're all interrelated, and I'd just like to share about how things are. See, the first and foremost thing is this presentation and information which is being presented is only for the purpose of education and experience sharing. So I don't want to quote anything, or I don't want to say anything otherwise. And this is not a place where I'm trying to blame anyone or any organization per se. So let's look at it as like three different companies. One is company A, which is in the business of a city gas distribution company which is marketing CNG, and they are selling it out in southern India. Company B is which is in the business of natural gas value chain. It owns and operates a large network of pipelines and its assets associated with it. Company C is an integrated oil company, and they have oil fields, and from there they are supplying the gas to company B, and that goes back to company A. So this is an incident which happened in company A. There was a cylinder explosion. So these cylinders were used as a part of the value chain where CNG is being filled up, and it is being sent out to other places where they use these CNGs to be filling up in CNG filling stations to vehicles and cars and autos and things like that. So you're able to see the cylinders which are stacked. Can I just have a feedback, please?
Yes, we could see.
Yeah, perfect. So these cylinders are basically, they are the banks. So when we are having cylinder banks, you have the high bank and a low bank. So this is exactly from the company's website which I had taken. So you can see that. So on the right side, if you can see that there is one of the cylinders has been, it just had an explosion, and the top part of the beam was also damaged, and it flew up for some height, and then it just fell off. So then we were called in for doing an incident investigation. So during the incident investigation, we found that anything? I'm sorry. Yeah. So anyhow, so when we were trying to do incident investigation, we found that there's a lot of condensate and water in the cylinders that has been depicted in the other photo which is there. So eventually, the recommendations which came out is saying that install a dryer, which is after the daughter booster. So the gas comes in from the booster station, and then there's a daughter booster which increases the value of the compressed gas of the natural gas, and then there we wanted to have a dryer, and then we also suggested that have an online moisture for the receiving of dry gas, and explore purchasing and contract management, because the company A was always telling that the company B is giving us wet gas. So this is an incident which happened in 2011. Following that, what happened was, we went to, we had to do a HAZOP for a company B. So the company B, actually, when we were doing HAZOP, that was in 2012, where we performed for their entire assets. And during the HAZOP, I had actually shared, because I was the chairman for the HAZOP, I had shared the information which happened in 2011 for company B. And eventually what happened is, we came out with HAZOP recommendations saying the HAZOP recommendations were to enhance separation system at company or supplier, and have an online moisturizer analyzer, and then develop some SOPs for some of the items, and then consider frequency of periodic inspection and maintenance to ensure that the operability of the equipment is there, and ensure corrosion monitoring is also there. So eventually what happened is, we found out and we gave all these recommendations, and I'll just take you through the so this is the location of the incident which happened later on, but you see the entire yellow lines is the company network with which we had done the entire HAZOP study. So what happened in 2014 was, there was a major incident which was basically for an underline pipeline for this for company B, and there were about 23 fatalities and around 38 injuries. There was a significant amount of asset damage. Following such kind of an incident, obviously government intervention comes up, and government started to investigate the issue. So I'll just play you a small video so that you can understand it a little more better.
An unfortunate incident, explosion in a GAIL-operated pipeline in Andhra Pradesh prompts ONGC to shut down 2 gas fields. Yatin's got details on that. And Yatin, sad news, but the financial implications, how large are going to be that for GAIL?
Well, indeed, sad news, and we have almost news reports coming in that from the toll of 3 people, now the total death toll has reached almost 14 people there in Andhra Pradesh. Now, what the news reports have been suggesting that the fire had really, broke out from the GAIL's pipeline, which was old and rusted, and that was near ONGC's refinery, which is there in Andhra Pradesh, which is called the Tatipaka refinery, and because of that, both the operations of GAIL carrying that gas from ONGC's field have been disrupted, and also the ONGC's refinery has been disrupted. Also, more importantly, this pipeline which was operated by GAIL, that used to carry gas to Lanco Infrastructure's power plant in Andhra Pradesh, which is a gas-based power project. So that is also getting impacted. So totally three companies getting impacted. Number one is Lanco, number two ONGC and GAIL. Of course, we had the Prime Minister also tweeting on this unfortunate event and clearly indicating that the high-level committee or an inquiry commission would be set up in order to evaluate the incident. And also we had the oil and gas minister speaking on the issue on the press. Clearly very unfortunate, quite early according to both the managements of ONGC and
so coming back to following that, obviously we'll have the intervention, but they missed out that company A was also another part. Not only company A, but there were several other companies and people who were using the gas, they were all affected. But eventually that the PNGRB investigation report came out in 2015. And this report clearly was actually replicating most of the recommendations which were done in Hazar, which is that the pipeline was actually transporting wet gas. And the company had also floated a declaration that, things were much better and they were not providing a gas dehydration unit. And following that, they said they could not give us fitness for purpose for the entire network and such as corrosion. And they had some more things saying that, there was internal corrosion which was present in the entire pipeline network. So here, the presence of moisture and condensate, which is coming up from the wells, were actually being transported, and this had led to a corrosion and other things. This investigation report and other things are available in public domain if you need more information. So now I'm just sharing this as an experience because something which happened in 2011, this was highlighted in 2012. And they were also aware and they understood many things, and they were also in the process of actually putting up new pipeline and new setup, and they were doing their best. But again, there are n number of things which will come in when you're looking at such a large network issues. In 2014, the incident happened. In 2015, the report came. And now I'm just trying to say that, incident which happens either upstream or downstream is always a big indicator. This should be considered as a key important aspect to evaluate, and anything has to be tracked back to the actual source. So if the source issues have been cut out, then I think many issues could have been avoided, which includes loss of life and safeguards of assets and so on. So this is what I just wanted to share. That's it from my side. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me.
Thank you, Sridhar. I think it is very ideally presented, and I believe this is the way we should be sharing brief personal experiences. So at this point, let's take questions. I'm quite sure there would be many of participants who would be having questions. So can someone start? Just unmute yourself and go ahead. Any question from anyone?
Sridhar, good evening. Very nice presentation.
Good evening, Muruganandam.
Yeah, Sridhar, now can you quickly tell now which PSM element we can help for this incident, to avoid this incident?
See, it is not one incident. The issue is when I'm trying to say it's not, I cannot exactly put it as a single element. That's the whole point here. It's a combination of issues which has come up, if you can understand.
Yeah, mainly the pipeline issue was there, maybe mechanical integrity.
Exactly. There, see, at different places, different things were there. So it is impossible to pinpoint on a single PSM element.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
Yeah, and at the same time, elements per se, see, this is only a very, I would say, not a very dysfunctional, but superficial way of saying which element was affected. Actually, it is more important to see that how things were interconnected. I mean, how various issues were interconnected, and how we can prevent it in future. So here is something that was very much recommended, and recommendations were not followed, and it happens many places, many times. And as HSE professionals or anyone around there who has got certain sphere of influence, has to ensure that these recommendations, they are implemented as intended. Very important. Otherwise, we are all doing waste of time. Any other question that we have? I feel that this incident should be raising a lot of questions from you guys.
It is unfortunate, sir. It is very unfortunate that all the three industries have not or had faced this problem. Had to face this problem, and Aloha has to be done for the consequential modeling of using Aloha or something, another method, whatever method they have is possible, they have to do it, because one should not affect the other. So at least one industry, if it can confine to only one industry or one point itself, one incident itself, not to cascading it.
Right, correct. Yeah. Any question? Any further question to Sridhar?
Yes.
Manoj, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, as I saw this is the very massive fire broke out from this blast. So it's gas pipeline rupture, right, sir? Sridhar, sir?
It's gas pipeline. That's right. The gas pipelines were directly coming from the field.
Direct coming from the field. So it's impacted to even 3 industries. And
No,
surrounding
it's 3 industries is something because, again, I'll just tell you it's 3 industries because what they're trying to say is the upstream industry and the gas transportation industry, the company B, and which was another company which they were trying to say, if you look at the pipeline network, it was the end of the pipeline network. But it is something which they did not mention in that video, is that the network also supplies for n number of smaller industries. You need to understand, when the gas pipeline is being done, it is not going to just cater to only 1 or 2 different companies or 1 or 2 industries. You need to understand, when the gas pipeline is coming up, it is going to cater to several industries and several companies across the system. Otherwise, it's not profitable for any person just to transport gas.
Understood.
So it was a national level disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a different issue.
Surrounding human being, they are also suffer a lot of suffering.
That's right. So is there anything on the process safety part? Would you like to question, or is it like?
Yes, the process safety part I can ask this, as this is the pipeline rupture. It means definitely it's all about corrosion or integrating.
Yes, it was part of corrosion basically. See, it is not that they were also aware, because they had raised the same issues during the HAZOP in 2012, and they were also addressing it. See, when you're trying to say a network of about 300-400 kilometers plus, it cannot be changed overnight.
Yes.
So this is something which they were also working on based on the HAZOP recommendations, but it's unfortunate things happened.
Well, thank you, sir.
Do we have any other question? Ram Kumar.
Yes, sir. I have. Can I ask? Thank you for the wonderful presentation. There are. I think whenever we talk about the pipeline explosions, we are not limited to the corrosion. There are mechanical damages, and because lack of process hazard analysis, and there could be a dent because accidents. Some pipelines are protruded outside and unnotifyingly, unattendedly. Sometimes human error is also possible. And my question to you is, do you think improper repair welds are also leading to the pipeline explosions? Or do you see any violations of applicable codes?
You mean to say, is it for this particular incident, or are you talking to me in general? Because see, I have been, I have been a consultant, and I have been, going around. About Kuwait is my 13th country of work. So, and I have an extensive experience on consulting for the oil and natural gas for both upstream and downstream. So I can tell you, yes, there are number of issues which comes out when we are talking about pipelines. Again, as I tell you, taking this case as an example, PHA was done. They understood corrosion is there, but sometimes the amount of corrosion coupons which you are supporting as asset management is not limited. Is actually limited to the amount of rate at which the corrosion happens. So again, integrity, when you're looking at the other kind of integrity and manual operations and wall pit operations, things changed. In fact, I can go on with experiences of saying that when people were working in South America, and I'm not joking, it may sound really vague, but there were people who were missing. Pipeline operator were missing. So they eventually found out that one of the snakes had took him off. And they found him only because his walkie-talkie was inside the snake. They had to track it down that way. So there are a number of hazards which happens, and I cannot just limit it to something very specific.
Good. Any last question? We will take one more question from both the presentations together, and then we will move on.
Sir, please allow me, sir. I want to add one additional information, sir. For the Sridhar scenario, sir, there is a challenges, for underground pipeline, the pressure testers. Normally, vessel and all every 4 years we can do, sir. But for the underground pipelines, we have one pipeline. We have to supply the gases to stakeholders. That is one of the challenging for the companies. That's why the thickness or any other issues are not able to identify it, sir. This is my additional information. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good observation. And there are such challenges that when we do not have a alternative available, but nonetheless we have to follow certain minimum requirements, because like in this case, not only it is economically that consumers are affected, but it is the population around which is their safety is, their safety should be paramount, most important. So, okay, since we do not have any further questions or comments, we move on. And at this point, I would request Ramana, you have your quiz ready?
Yes, sir. It's ready now.
What we can do is that you explain the quiz, how it will be done and all, and in between, those who are interested, we can still continue to have a chat. So we'll have the quiz and the chat in parallel, and then you can conclude your quiz.
Sure, sir. Yeah, good
So
evening,
as
all.
I told, this is a manner that we ensure that yes, people continue to be interested in the event. So those who would be participating in the quiz will get a certificate of participation, and that you can use wherever you want to. For example, maintaining your CPDs, continuing professional development credits. So go ahead, Ramana.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. As Ritvik sir already told, we are having quiz system to generate the certificates automatically. Okay. Earlier, it was only one click. Now we have developed two systems. Like one will be on polling, and the other one will be through the link where we can generate the certificates automatically. Okay. In the polling, it is to know the attendees, like who are attended the this one Zoom meeting. Okay, the poll is launched now. Just click on this. Accordingly, we'll come to know who has answered these things. And the other one, I'll post on the chat box where you can. Similar questions will be there, but that also you have to click and give your feedback so that we'll get the certificates prepared for you and send. Will be sent within 24 hours. Like earlier, it was automatically. It was generated. Now we made it like we stopped issuing automatically, and we are doing it manually because there are some data entry errors doing by the participants. That's why we have made it manual. Okay, and this one I'm putting in the chat box also, the link. The same questions will be there.
So all of you participate in this. And in the meantime, if you have any queries, questions, suggestions, reaction, please go ahead. We can still keep talking.
Sir, we have Ashok Garlapati sir. We can listen his comment and suggestion, and
Sure.
Bala Srikant sir is also there.
Yeah, sure.
And if time permits, then Siva Penke is also there, sir. Dr.
Yeah,
Siva
please
Penke.
go ahead.
Ashok Garlapati sir.
Ashok, if you can please give us a few words of encouragement.
Let us see with Bala Srikant sir. Hello, Bala Srikant sir.
Yes, they are busy.
Yeah, I think or maybe something
doing the quiz.
maybe sir. Dr. Siva Penke sir, if you are able to listen to us, I think they all are busy with this one. Yeah.
I came out from the quiz.
Right.
So good evening,
Okay, great.
and, it's very wonderful to connect with you.
Yeah.
Right now I am in India, and it's almost 11 p.m. But still I'm participating in this one because it is making us very interesting. And thank you all for the organizers and Mr. Ujjwal Ritvik. And it's a great opportunity for the youngsters to learn from very rich experienced presentations. And especially the process safety, we all know the importance. And adding these case studies really in a shortest time with the rich experience, it is giving an opportunity to all the youngsters as well as the experienced people like us also. And today's two presentations are very wonderful. One is at a very high level, a complex one. And one was simple, but I felt it became a very complex one to understand. So taking it in a lighter sense, how we can better improve for presentations, I think we should restrict the slides to, if it is 15 minutes means not more than 12 slides for that particular presentation. And to be focused on the content to reach to the, the participants. Otherwise, the topics, excellent. It is going on. and it is a very good learning platform for all of us.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva. Ashok, are you available? Srikanth? Okay, so have you finished the quiz, Ramana? I think we have given enough time.
Yeah, okay, sir.
I'm available.
We'll start.
Ashok sir, go ahead.
I
Can you give us a few words of encouragement?
was getting some our emergency calls. I was attending those calls, but thanks for those two presentations on FTA and as well as our Sridhar's experience sharing. It's good to know how the lessons learned from one incident is being shared with another incident or during other studies and other things. So it's always learning, as you said, sir. Such meetings always opportunity to learn from the incidents as well as from the techniques. So appreciate your leadership in continuously doing these programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashok. Thanks for your encouragement and continue to find time to attend all these sessions. That's very good. Srikanth, you are there? Are you still busy with the quiz?
Sir, today we have also with us Jignesh Sai is there. We can listen here.
Yeah, he is our very responsible person now. Jignesh, would you like to talk a few words? I think it would be a very good idea if you can, tell us about the preparation so far, or what do you plan for the PDC?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. It was, I think both presentations were very good. And definitely, whoever participated in this, they must have learned good things out of it. One was fully technical, other was having surrounding other with additional details or personal experience. So both presentations were very good. And regarding PDC, just 3 days back, I was confirmed, and that I have to lead as a deputy director. And 2 days back, we had a first initial meeting, just kick-off meeting, to see that how we can go ahead, and we have formatted something. So within 15 days, we'll come out with the plan, and we'll discuss with our all EC member and advisory committee member and mentors. All seniors are here. I think 3 of you are here already, and rest of the advisor will call them for one meeting, and then we'll discuss in this pandemic situation, how we'll go ahead and what are the challenges and how we can overcome these challenges and make this conference successful. So as of now, within next 2 weeks, we'll come out with our whole plan for the PDC. Thank you.
Thank you, Jignesh. You have a big responsibility on your shoulders, but you are experienced enough. So we expect even better event. Although this is even more challenging, we still don't know whether you are going to end up doing only online, or whether it will be a hybrid, or possibly you may have the opportunity to do a physical one again.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Now I hand over the proceedings to Mazhar, our Vice President, and just take us towards the conclusion, Mazhar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Ramana, do we have our results ready?
Yeah.
Test time is finished?
Yeah.
Test time is finished?
Yeah.
Okay. So before that, sir, I would like to thank both of our presentators today. Wonderful presentations, Mr. Murthy and Sridhar. Thank you so much for these efforts. I know just presentation is only for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, but the efforts behind that is much more. Thanks you spared your time for this and gave such a knowledgeable, interesting presentation. Many of us have learned a lot from that. So I would like to thank and as a token of thanks from ASSP Kuwait chapter, we are just recognizing with presently soft certificates after the event, which you will be receiving on your mail. So thank you so much. First, I would like to thanks Mr. Sridhar. So it was really wonderful, Sridhar, to having with us today, and thanks once again. I'm sure in future also you will support us to share your experience and vast knowledge. Also, Mr. Murthy, you are improving a lot. I am really amazed by your presentation today, and I'm seeing you since last 3 years. We are working together. I'm really happy with your presentation today. Thank you so much for working so hard for this presentation, and thank you so much, Mr. Murthy.
Thank you very much, sir.
At this point, can we ask all those who are attending that if you are ready to present something for the next meeting?
Yeah,
as we have been telling, we don't. You don't need to necessarily prepare a PowerPoint presentation. You can talk on a PDF or a Word file as well, as long as it is something meaningful and you can conclude in 15 minutes. That will be great. What we need is two volunteers who would talk, one for some past infamous incidents, which possibly we have not done during last 12 months. You can talk over, there is plenty. You can take help from some of the mentors if you need. And another one is another presentation regarding some personal experience of, especially of failures. It's very important that we need to acknowledge that yes, we failed, but we failed and we learned. And this is what I learned, and this is what others, you should also take note of it. So this is what we call learning from experience of, personal experience. So again, you don't have to necessarily make a PowerPoint presentation. You see how Sridhar has done. I liked the way he tried to present something which he personally experienced. And I would like you, I would encourage all of you that come forward. So do we have volunteers for the next month, next meeting? Madhar, possibly if you can, enlist a few. You are very, you encourage very well people.
Sir, it's all from you. I mean, the way you are doing, we are trying to just copy that. See, friends, it is really good, not only for the chapter, but it is for your own self also, because I'm really very happy the way Mr. Murthy has presented today. And I have seen him presenting earlier also, a year before, 2 years before, and you won't believe, because he is near to me, I have seen that there is a very good improvement, because he tried well in past also, and now I think we don't need to call him as a something newcomer or new in this field. Now he can take place as an expert also. So this is the example in front of you. If you will present, it will improve yourself also. And of course, when you will be presenting on something, you are doing research, right? And always when you are presenting, you present on the subject which is you are facing something. So you will do the research, and all this stuff will be helpful in your job also. So it's just 15 minute will not do. We all are same here. No one is much expert except a few names which we have with us. Of course, we cannot compare ourselves with them. But apart from this, yes, we all are same. There is nothing to like shy about the presentation or something. Yes, we are all at the same platform, and I request all of you, for your own betterment and for the chapter's betterment, I request all of you come forward, because there are presenters. If nobody will come, we have our experts. Ashok sir is always there. He said, if yani he is always ready. Yani if you see, he has never left a single event. Some of you, the new people, maybe not aware that how busy he is, how committed he is from the other things also. He is having a many responsibility. He is not only with ASSP Kuwait, he is with ASSP USA, he is with BCSP and KOC and PDC and everywhere he is. So still he is always ready for that. So we need to learn from our leaders, and at least we need to do something for our betterment. I request all of you, please come forward, so that we can have today only final list of all these two presenters for next month, and you will get a also good chance. And please make sure whenever you need help from us in terms of presentation, in terms of any data, or
Nazar
in
sir,
terms of
Assalamu alaikum.
any knowledge, you can do it. Walaikum assalam. Yes, who is there?
What is the process to register for to as a speaker?
Just you give your name right now, and then we will be contacting you.
Okay, I'm interested to give a small information about that, inshallah, in the next month.
Wonderful,
Okay,
Abul
excellent,
Ilham.
wonderful, Abul Ifam.
Thank
Nice,
you
nice.
for
This
your
is good.
encouragement.
Thank you, Abul Ifam. So see, we have one person with us. Mashallah, he is having a very good experience also in the field of safety. So, and he is working with PMC also, so they know about the designing things and HAZOP and different studies they are involved in. So, inshallah, I'm sure we will have a very good things to see in the next presentation. We need one more person if he can. Ashok sir, I'm really sorry. I have just seen you have raised hand.
I just want to share, Mazhar, my experience, the benefit I am getting from these meetings, PSM meetings. Last month, I attended
Please,
a
sir.
meeting which was artificial intelligence applications in improving the safety by Mr. Balaji,
Yes.
through CCTV integration. Unfortunately, we had one fatal incident in our rig, and we know that we have seen that we have a CCTVs, and we have seen that recording of that. If that integration was done, we could have avoided that. So I shared this with Balaji. Now I am working with him to integrate artificial intelligence in our rigs operations. Of course, it is a plan, but everything will start with the plan. We are now working with Mr. Balaji to integrate all the CCTV cameras with artificial intelligence so that such incidents can be avoided. This information I got from the last PSM meet. I'm sure Mr. Ujjwal Ritvik will be very happy to know this, but we are making a good progress through these sharing informations. I just want to say that.
Yeah, this is just now as thank you, Ashok. As just now Mazhar was telling that there are many benefits, not only to the organization and society, but to the individuals themselves. When they come, they prepare, and then they present. They get a huge benefit out of this.
Yes.
So we already have a name. Can we have one more person? Go ahead, and we would be supporting you. There will be some mentor who could always work with you, guide you, if you anytime you need any help, any support. So we have still some 40 people are balanced on this event. If anyone would like to come forward. Let me just flip a dice and come out with some names. Sayyid Arif.
Good evening, sir. Actually, basically, still we are. I am involved in construction activity and process safety. I am not means not experienced too much. Sir. Only still we are working for construction field, sir.
So that will be very good if you can talk about something, you will learn yourself how, I mean, you construction field and process safety, they are not very far apart. And
Yes,
very
sir.
fact that you are attending these meetings, that means you are interested. This will expand your
Yes, sir.
horizon. So maybe if you want, we can give you a topic for the, you can prepare and present next time.
Next time.
Are you ready?
Sir, no, not still, sir. Later on, sir.
What is do you don't have time, or you don't have?
No,
I mean, what is
actually,
lacking?
process safety, actually, sir, little different. Means I want to start learning that also. But since I am in construction, I will try my best, sir. But this slides and all this will take some. I
Yeah. So you think that you don't have experience?
Yeah.
Okay. So
If I involved in like that,
if
so
I give you, if I tell you that story of a novel that you have read in the past, can you tell that story?
Novels
Or some picture you have seen, some movie you have seen.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, movie. Lot of movie we used to see Hindi movies like
Right.
that. And
Great. So I will give you possibly a few options of some similar stories, and you talk about that story. The only thing will be that instead of a bad man and a good man, this time a story will be about some kind of disaster in the plant or in a pipeline or in a some other area.
Yes,
Which
sir.
will be called a PSM incident. PSM movie.
Okay, sir. Still, I will be 2-3 sessions. I will sir, try to make, and then I will try my best, sir.
Okay, so
No
you are
issues, no
booked for
issues.
August. How about this?
Yeah. So August, not next month, next to next month.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, we have one self-nomination, Mr. Sekhar Bhagwati Reddy. So
Yeah, very good,
he will be
Sekhar.
presenting. Thank you so much, Mr. Sekhar. Ujjwal sir, you would like to say a few words to him?
No. I have said enough now. I'll sign off now and go ahead. It is your turn, Mother.
Yes. So next month we have Mr. Abul Ifam and Mr. Sekhar Reddy, and also we are lucky to see that Bala sir is also there. Sir, we will also take benefit from you, of course. That would be a great. So we will discuss and then we will finalize and come back to all our members what will be the agenda for the next meeting. So now let's move further, and Ramanna, can we have the names of winners? Please tell me, Ramanna, how many you are gonna announce? 3 or 5?
5.
Very good. That's great.
Just a minute, yeah.
There may be possibility that this, apart from this 5, many have answered correctly, but this result is based not only on the correct answer, but the time taken to give a correct answer. So almost all of you are winner who have participated. We are just announcing that who has done it in a faster manner. So Ramana, please, let's have a first name on the screen. Mr. Abdul Bari, congratulations. You did well. Highest number of answers, correct answers in minimum time. Thank you so much for participating with such an enthusiasm. Next. Mr. Nag Tilak. Oh, wow. So it's a very strong name and name with a courage. Thank you so much for participating and congratulations for this winning this quiz. Thank you. Mr. Vinay Kurup, congratulations to you also, and thanks for participating. We will have our fourth winner next. Mr. Iqbal Ahmed Sheikh, thank you, and congratulations for joining us today and participating. And our fifth winner, Mr. Gurusamy Vankatesh. Congratulations, brother, and thanks for participating and joining us today and being with us, all of you, till the end. And all other who have participated in the quiz, thanks a lot that you came today and joined us, spared your time, participated in quiz, and you will be receiving your certificate soon on your mail ID. So thanks once again. So with this, I think, Ramana, is it fair to conclude now?
Yeah, just 1 minute about it if you have. We already talked about the conference.
Yes.
Is the one. Okay.
So once again, the request to all of you, please come forward, and whenever required, we will announce. Please come forward and join this team for the another journey, which will be, of course, a challenging, but I'm sure and I commit you, it will be a very wonderful and learning experience for all of you. So I think it is really fair to conclude now that event was packed with wonderful and knowledge, packed with knowledge also, and excellent informative presentations. Thank you so much, both the presenters, for your work which you have done and for sparing a time behind this presentation and coming today and joining us for this presentation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate both of you, and especially my close friend Sridhi. I want you to present as many as presentation possible because we want to learn a lot from you. And Mr. Murthy, I commit you now. I am just telling you, Yani, I am 100% sure from where you have started, you have reached at another level. I really want to congratulate you for your hard work, and the result is in front of all of us. I'm sure you will also be there again with us on this stage and on other stages also to support the chapter. And Ujjwal sir, as always, thank you for guiding us through this event. And it's really wonderful to have you. Again, we are not feeling that you're far from us, Sat Samandar Par, but yes, you are with us here only. So thank you so much. And once again, we are going to have a PDC, which is your brainchild, and you nurtured it till, I think, 2019 we had a last. So in future also we will be needing more of your expertise and experience on this to make it a very successful. And Siva sir, yes, your suggestion is really valuable to us, and we do agree what you have said. We will surely look into it, and we will plan, if possible, to have presentation with us to review for our expert before this technical meet, because we are seeing that the level is increasing. We are having participants from the different countries and not only from Kuwait. So surely, sir, we will take into the consideration. And Ashok sir, thank you so much for coming. You are always with us. I have never seen, this is our almost more than 50th meeting of this year or event, and you were always there. I am really surprised with so many responsibilities and commitments, how you are making it. So, and thank you so much for this. Jignesh ji, congratulations that you have been selected as a leader for the PDC, and thanks for accepting our offer from ASSP Kuwait chapter. We all are with you for this wonderful journey, inshallah, and we will have a very successful program. Bala sir, thanks for joining us, and thanks for raising your hand for the next presentation. Thank you so much, and thanks all. I think we have very good on time, and have a good night. Be very safe. The time is tough right now. Once again, few new variants we are finding in Kuwait also. So be safe and have your guards always on. With this, I'm saying all of you good night, and what we say, Masa al khair. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mazhar.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Night,
Madhur sir.
good
Thank
sir.
you,
Stay safe.
Ujjwal sir,
Thank you.
Ramna. Thank you, Ashok sir,
Good
and
night, sir.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your blessings. Shiva sir also for
Thank you,
suggestions.
sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Hi, Sri. We
Thank
missed
you.
your questions.
Hello. Yeah, some questions I heard.
We missed Bala Siva Srikanth questions. Actually, we did not hear a word from him because we were
Yeah, I
asking them.
think I was saying he was having some mic issues.
I see. I have a
yeah,
suggestion, Sheikh Mohammed. What was
Mazhar,
it, Mazhar?
Mazhar.
Yeah, sorry, Mazhar. We had missed a couple of interactions. My appeal to those winners, we can persuade and we can motivate them to be presenters, if not this month, next month. That's my opinion.
That's a good, really good opinion, and I really appreciate for this. Yes, good,
means they can be polished. You know, they can be motivated. They have those skills.
Correct.
I believe in it.
I am totally with you. I second that idea. Really, we will be discussing with this on this soon in EC, and let me call upon these guys personally and discuss with them. If some fear or something is there, I will try to remove it, and any support they want, I'll try to provide it to them, inshallah, on behalf of the EC. Excellent idea. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye. Stay safe. Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Night.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Take care.
Manoj is there.
Mazhar sir, for blessing me so much. Thank you very much, everyone.
Excellent, Murthy. I'm really happy.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, and all. Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Nagtilak is here. We can ask him to come forward.
Yeah, Nagtilak can present.
Nagtilak, oh, what a name, man. What a name. You need a big courage to do that. Excellent. Nagtilak, he's still with us?
Yeah, still with us, but maybe he's having some issues with. Yeah, he's here.
Yes, sir. The mic is not working.
Yeah, please continue.
It has been not
and saying his mic is not working.
No, now it's okay. Earlier it was not working. He's saying.
Yeah, it is not. It's coming off and off, on and off.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no issues. What do you think? I think you should come forward. Yani, we will help for you if you want to have some topic or you have something idea in your mind.
Sure, sir. Actually,
we are there.
I said to contact you once, Jatin Ponda. Jatin Ponda.
Yes. I know him very well.
Yeah, he told me to contact you once for the presentation and everything. I will sure, sir. I will do it in some time. I just need some time to prepare.
Come. Are you working with Jatin?
Yeah, I'm in BS 171, Gulf Peak.
Oh my God! I think so.
Instrumentation engineer.
Yeah, समझ गया. अरे क्या किधर है वो अलार्म